In this video I'm going to talk about the purpose of drinking elixirs. So basically I think the purpose of consuming elixirs on a regular basis is that it allows us to move our food, our diet, our dietary intake more to a place where it really should be, which is, if you remember the old axiom, let food be your medicine, medicine be your food, an elixir allows us to really get a medicinal food into our body, because it's not medicinal in the sense of pharmaceutical or going to the doctor where it's a drug and you have side effects and all. It's different than that, because what makes it more medicinal is that it has deep balancing, restorative, rejuvenating, deeply, deeply nourishing properties on the body. And this is because usually elixirs are made with various tonic herbs, various deeply nutritious foods, whether you want to call them superfoods or whatever. And this is basically allowing us to really nourish our body at a deep level, which is almost very medicinal, because the majority of our food, if not almost all of it, is just weak and mostly just filler, because our soils are depleted and food's not grown the right way. It's used all these different chemicals. I'm sure you've heard all these things before. So allowing ourselves to step out of that whole conversation and source foods that are more wild, that are more stronger, genetically haven't been tampered with, they're not, genetically modified or hybridized over hundreds of years. They're obviously, organic or, beyond organic. And then they're obviously very deeply nourishing, because if they're tonic herbs, if they're adaptogens, they're going to go into the body, they're going to sense deficiencies, they're going to sense imbalances, and they're going to balance those out. And then over time, what starts to happen is, various little things that were out of balance and caused by the imbalance start to really go away, and we start to just ascend to higher and higher levels of health and general vitality. So another thing that makes consuming elixirs important is that obviously it's liquid based and it's nutrient dense in most cases, and if it's well made, it's going to be easy to digest and it's going to taste good. And this has the benefit of allowing us to ingest a lot of calories, a lot of nutrition, without being weighed down, without having to sit down and actually eat a meal. Because usually you can make an elixir in 5 minutes. And if that 5 minutes can last you 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and it's going to give you high energy, solid, sustained energy and deep nourishment, you're going to be way more productive, you're going to feel better, you're going to get a lot more done, and you're not going to be thinking about food all the time. You're not going to spend 30 minutes or an hour in the kitchen, over the stove or whatever, trying to prepare a meal. You're not going to be weighed down, because sometimes if we're on the road, if we're on our feet, if we're working out, all these things, in those situations we're not going to want to just have a big meal sitting in our stomach, because it might weigh us down, it might make us tired, it might hinder whatever we're trying to achieve. So having something that's liquid based that we can sip on, that's easy to digest but energizing, and feeding us with calories, feeding us with nutrition, is an ideal choice. And elixirs allow us to do that. So that's why I think elixirs are important, because they allow us to consume more of a medicinal food with very nutrient-dense substances, most of the time with very powerful and beneficial and rejuvenating tonic herbs. And they're also easy to digest, they're liquid, they're light, they help us feel lighter and have more energy. Because if we eat a little bit less, we tend to have more energy, but we don't want to starve ourselves at the same time, because we have a physical body that we need to maintain through calories and these other things. So we need to find that happy ground to where we can still nourish ourselves, we can still feel fed and satiated, but without having to just always eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day, whatever it might be. So now you might be wondering, okay, well, elixirs are awesome, but how do I make them? Well, obviously I've made a lot of videos about elixirs, demonstrating elixir recipes. You can check that out. You can check out elixirsynergy.com. That's an ebook that I made with some friends of mine, basically taking you through the whole range of how to make elixirs, from the water all the way till the very end. And then also healthbeyonddanger.com, which is a 7-hour audio course that I put together, covering the whole range of tonic herbs, the ideas, the philosophy, the underlying foundations behind it. And then lastly is another project that I'm working on right now called Elixir Control, which is going to be more of a video based, more of an interactive program that's going to show you from step one, from the very beginner, all the way to the most advanced of the advanced of how to make elixirs. So hopefully that's been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.